So, I just want to say that Behind the Veil Chapter 4 is released and it's free to read. Um, it's very important to read. Right now, I'm working on a book that's entitled Behind the Veil, and I'm beginning to start it off as an article series, but it's really being formulated into a book, and I've been writing it in real time. And so on my website, in the blog section, you're able to see the progression that I've had thus far. Now, this Behind the Veil is basically touching on all things within the energetic realm, within multi-dimensional aspects of consciousness, right? And if you follow my story and you watch some of my videos, you know that I am someone that has been trying to bring awareness to many, to the collective, period, about their own multidimensional capabilities and about the reality that exists outside of the 3D limited construct of the matrix, as far as what they want us to see and what they want us to view on a daily basis, right? And I am someone that was born or came in still attached to certain multi-dimensional aspects of themselves. So I grew up being someone that was clairvoyant and able to see energetic beings and being able to traverse the energetic realms. There was just a lot of things that I could do naturally, like as far as astral traveling and, me going to different energetic realms and having to, it was like basically a school for myself growing up. I was living in two different worlds. Now, I suppressed and kept that aspect of myself hidden within my daily life because when you're in the matrix grid, it's designed that way, right? To shun aspects of those, particular aspects of yourself in order to fit the 3D mold. So me not being so aware and just having a bunch of handlers and people around me that were by design, that they manipulated and placed around me to basically try to get me to lower myself or feel ashamed about these capabilities of mine. I naturally just went through what I went through with what, like, navigating. Sorry, I went through what I went through navigating the physical realm and then navigating the energetic realities at the same time. But I just kept these things quiet to myself. Now there was particular people in my inner circle, of course, that maybe knew certain things, but just didn't care because the 3D matrix has it set up where everyone is so disconnected from this aspect of themselves. Now, me knowing my mission and knowing who I am at this point in my life and everything that it entails, obviously, I understand why I was not able to go through the total memory wipe, um, like most beings that come here. And I still had particular activations and whatnot. That being said, it is very important. Me personally, I am a being that chooses to be disillusioned. And because of my organic makeup and my organic source code and naturally what I was designed to do and what I came here to do, it is part of my task, as well as many others, to carry this frequency, this organic code, and to vibrate at a certain particular capacity and to do, to be embodied within this physical plane in order to be the beacons that are basically generating enough frequency to disrupt the grid. So now that I know who I am, I have been even more so ingrained in doing my part. I am being driven a lot lately to also push this content out there, right? So much of what I've been writing as I've begun writing Behind the Veil has been channeled downloads as well. I have gone through, I'm not going to say that, but I've been going through my own upgradings and my own level of upgrades. And at this time, I'm being very much pushed to put this content out there. So much of how I'm starting it off is mainly channeled downloads, and I'm starting from the beginning so people can have a concept of the lie of this particular matrix and the veil, the quarantine, basically. And the veil that has been placed over the third dimension that is causing beings to be living in this looping construct that has been designed by beings that are harvesting the life force of the beings that are existing within their 3D construct. So I'm giving a whole breakdown from a mechanical level, scientific level, um, starting from the beginning at first so people can have an idea. But it's very much engaging, and it's very much the truth. It's very much real. It is something that all beings should be privy to. And so I have unlocked chapter 1 and chapter 4, so people can have a sense of what the content is about, so you can really, connect with it. But also, this is content that you're going to have to be willing to invest in, to be disillusioned, and to want to know the truth and to stand firmly in your organic blueprint. You actually have to show initiative with your own essence. That is something that you're willing to know, or something that you're willing to, place focus or attention into, right? So the content is not going to be for everyone, because some people are very comfortable within the controlled dynamic that is this reality. But for those that are not comfortable with the control dynamic that is this particular reality, this content is very much important for you to know. And chapter 4 is the reason why I also released chapter 4 is because I can't gatekeep that knowledge. That knowledge is very much, I'm not gatekeeping any of the knowledge. I'm very much devoted to disillusioning beings and being a disillusioned being myself. I have gone through a lot of series of things, from being disillusioned and receiving many of these downloads and being privy to this information. But chapter 4 is very much prevalent for those that consider themselves chosen ones. Okay, and this is why I had to release that, because this content within chapter 4 is very much prevalent for you. It's basically like a manual and a guide for chosen ones. And so, for those that consider themselves chosen ones. And so I really want everyone to go and take a look at it on my website. You're able to, like I said, to access chapter 1 and chapter 4, which is very crucial. Please go and take a read just for yourself, for your own sanity. Even if you do not want to subscribe to see the rest of the book and the details, at least, especially for those that consider themselves chosen ones, this is so important. Please go and read chapter 4 for yourself. Okay, it is so many details and things that are there that are going to assist you, right? And everything that I'm writing, I'm also writing from experience. So even when I receive particular channel downloads about the beginning and particular things within the solar system and things of that nature, because the more I go and delve into the book, I'm going to get more into the mechanics of this engineered matrix here, the systemic matrix, and all of my experiences, the different energetic realms that I have traversed, realities, the different types of energetic beings that I have encountered. And I'll get more into depth of my own experiences. But even with chapter 4, me releasing that, a lot of that stuff is very much prevalent, and many of those things I actually went through. So I'm also speaking from my perspective and my understanding, while at the same time being channeled and allowing that channel to come through. So like I said, I just wanted to advertise the content. And if you want to book a session with me, you can also explore my website, and you can see the other services that I provide on my website. But for right now, I am really much ingrained in trying to disillusion others and bring them back into their multidimensional awareness. And for those that consider themselves chosen ones, please go and read chapter 4 for yourself. Okay, go and read it for yourself. You can even comment on the blog if you like. You could comment on TikTok and let me know how you connect and relate.